introduce Markita to you, I want her to also introduce herself. Many of you would have seen her on my Facebook and all the stuff, that beautiful things that we've been doing. I wanted her to come in because she's my latest whatchamacallit, I don't even know.
You can call me a success story. You can say it. Don't be bashful.
I know, right? So I wanted her to kind of tell you what she went through, because I know before Markita came to me, right? She had experiences before. She had some experiences before, and so Markita, just take it away. Just Dr. E said that's right. Success story.
Success story, absolutely. Well, I want to say hello to all of you who are viewing and who are going to be watching this replay. My name is Markita D. Collins. I am a wife, mother, entrepreneur, baker, prophetess, minister, certified life coach, best-selling author. I'm so very proud of this amazing accomplishment that had Dr. Princess Fumi hands all over it. I'm still old-fashioned, real raw, uncut. You guys, I have hit bestseller in I think 5 categories and hot is on Amazon, which is not an easy feat, especially when this is paid and this is no gimmicks, no hacks, no fluff, none of that kind of stuff. Is legit and legitimate. And Dr. Princess Fumi, Reverend Dr. Princess Fumi, has really, really helped coach me and help push this baby out. Now, when I say a baby, this is a whole 10-pounder. And I did not have an epidural. She did not let me go. She did not let me cut corners. She did not let me be lazy. She really, really made sure that everything that was inside of me reflected in this book. And I want to just do a quick comparison just to let you know how serious she was about me getting all that I could out. So the dimensions of my new book is the same as my old book, just doing the same dimensions, but this is what's going to just make you guys fall out your chair. Look at the difference in size. I mean, this is crazy. So this is my first book, and then this is the new book. So it's literally doubled in size. Like,
by the way, Jenny says the book is amazing.
Yes, thank you so much, Jenny. So it's like doubled and a half. Okay, it's over 323 pages in my new book. It's about 145 pages in my first book. So, to God be the glory for the things he's doing and what he's done in the life of myself. And I'm so glad that Princess Fumi has had her hands involved in this, because I was getting ready to just give up on entrepreneurship. Even though I knew there were many more books inside of me, Dr. Princess Fumi, really, God used her to be a mouthpiece for God in my life at a critical time, a time where I was just really feeling abandoned, dropped, disappointed, and let down. And, she told me that she had a vision and the Lord was speaking to her concerning me. And she reached out to me after she prayed, of course, because Dr. Princess is not going to do anything without praying and seeking the Lord first. And after she asked me a series of questions and I answered her and I said, what the Lord showed you is absolutely correct. She said, I'm going to go back in prayer and I'm going to come back to you. Well, she came back to me to let me know that what's in me is not dead and I have to start all over again. So you're talking about a process that took me about 9 months in the first place, and to have to relive and redo that and add more all over again, I didn't think that I had the strength to do it, but I was reminded by Dr. Princess Fumi and my supportive husband that I can do anything and I can do all things through the Lord Jesus Christ. And though I'm an influencer, though I'm an entrepreneur, and I am a social media influencer, I had to come under her tutelage and her mentorship to really, really get the best out of me. I don't know everything. And so that meant for me that I had to submit to her teaching and I had to listen to her corrective opinions and her strategies and really, really lay at her feet and be open to being stretched and to change things, have a paradigm shift about what I thought about writing and really, really letting go of myself and not feeling naked, but being vulnerable. So Dr. Princess Fumi really really, really, really blew me away with the promise that she made that if I stuck to the course that I would get the end result. And the end result, even, I don't think we could have calculated what God did.
No.
I don't think we could even, I mean, it wasn't even, what God did was so unprecedented, and what he did, it literally stunned us where we were speechless, because it was like, pinch me, did this really just happen? And so to God, again, be the glory for this book that was picked up by over 150 networks, including Telemundo. And for those of you that don't know, I don't speak no kind of Spanish except uno. So, and hola. So with that being said, if you had any doubts or if you had any hesitation or reservation in working with Dr. Princess Fumi, and I know a lot of author coach, I know a lot of wealth strategists, I know a lot of multimillionaires, and not to say that they're not great. What I'm saying is she was anointed to do what she did. And if I can turn back the hands of time, I would have worked with her from the beginning. But in hindsight, it's 2020, and to God, again, be all the glory. I can compare now what I went through in the first book with this book, and it's apples and oranges. Her process is completely different. It's legit. It's amazing. It's authentic, and you will get results. Now, I can't promise you the results that I got that you're going to get. But what I can say, if the hand of God is on it, it will be fruitful and it will be blessed. That's what I can say. So again, to Dr. Princess Fumi, thank you so much for just being used by God to make sure that I did not let what was in me die. I think that's what I wanted to say with that.
So let me ask you a question. When we decided, after prayers, and I came to you and I said, Markita, what do you want to get out of this? You said something.
I said I want to be a bestseller.
And what did I tell you?
I will be.
Okay. All right.
You said if you do the work, you will be.
You will be. Mm-hmm. And now the thing that I did not plan for was the networks.
Yes.
Because like I said to you, usually even all the major people that I've helped to write behind the scenes, because some of them, because you ghostwrite with them, you can't really say their names out because they paid money top dollar for it, yes. Right? And so even with them, I told you, I said the average that I've gotten is 20 to 30 tops. Even myself, 20 to 30. And when we were doing this, I remember calling Markita. I said, Markita, I did something, but I'll let you know.
Yep.
Right? I said, I'll let you know. So Markita was curious. She was like, but what did you do? I said, no. I'll let you know. Let me see what happens with this. Right? Ramona Jones says she will prayerfully push you to produce. Thank you, Ramona Jones, for saying that. Because Ramona Jones is also a best-selling author that I helped. And so, and once I did it, then the next day, I got this long list. And I'm counting. And we're not talking about channels that are just, we're not talking about little channels. We're talking about, NBC, CBC, their affiliates in different parts of the world. Even London newspaper picked it up. London picked it up. Canada picked it up. And I kept counting. I said, wait a minute here. This is all 50 networks that picked this girl up. This is what God can do if you are patient and if you put the work in, because Markita worked, right?
Yes, I did. Is this mic on? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Markita worked. And this is the difference. If you're willing to work and you work the process will work for you. If you don't trust the process, it will not work for you. You can spend $30,000 on a process. And if you put it, you'll spend $30,000 and it won't work.
I'm a witness that I put almost $20,000, over $20,000 into a project that took me only so far. I mean, I really feel like with that money, I could have done something else. I could have went on vacation. I should have put that money I really should have. I should have took that money and invested it into some stocks, because it only took me but so far. So I was here and it took me here. What Princess Fumi did was take me from here to here. And I'm not just saying that to say it. I mean, it literally, the proof is in the pudding. And then I had the amazing Real Talk Kim do the forward for me, which is truly amazing. That is like, favors like that don't just happen just for happenstance. God really has his hands on what Dr. Princess Fumi does. And again, with your work ethic, and when you put it before God and say, God, I really want to get this done, he'll give you the strength to endure and get it done.
And this is the difference between really having a vision midwife and just somebody who wants to be.
Right.
Because a vision midwife pushes that, help you to push that baby through that birth canal.
Right.
When we were talking about forward, right? The first book around, you did not use, why didn't you use Kim?
I didn't use Kim originally, and I've known Pastor Kim for about 4 years now. I just didn't feel like what my husband did the forward originally, and then poor Jakes Coleman, who we all know to be Bishop and Sarita Jakes' daughter, who's a great friend of mine. She had added her thoughts on it. It was like thoughts from Cora's desk, and I thought that was enough. So I didn't even think to ask Kim during that time, and I'm glad I didn't, because again, with her name, and of course my husband and Cora are amazing. Cora Jakes has an amazing, Coleman has an amazing platform. But what God is doing this time around is my name is already global, but he's making it with some validity, with some, with some approval. And when you cross into white market, when you cross into multicultural, denominations and all that, that means you're doing something different. So I think that if she would have been connected to the last book, it would have went somewhere that the person who was connected to the first book didn't need to go.
That's right.
I'm trying to say that without being.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, there are certain people that are connected to my first book that has no connection to this book, and they didn't need to be connected to this book. So there are certain names that did not need to go with me to this next place that God has me going to. And so I don't think it was meant for me to ask Real Talk Kim at that time. I really don't.
And one of the things that, and then I'll let you go, one of the major things that I love about you is that you didn't care how much I pushed and say you got to, because when we started talking about forward, I said, well, what are the names that are out there that you can reach out to? Many of us are afraid to even reach out.
Right.
But the thing is, you can reach out to 10 people, but there might be just one.
Right.
that will say yes.
Right.
And so this is what this whole process is about. Some of you all, I'm going to push you to the extreme and say, look, think hard. Who have you gone to their conference before that you love?
Right.
Who have you, and if you don't open your mouth, you will never know.
You will never know. I mean, I think that even with there are certain people that I had, because I had a list of people that I did want to ask, and I did ask, and they took their time getting back to me. They wanted me to pay these astronomical fees. They wanted to know how many followers I had.
Wait, say that again. They wanted you to pay what?
They wanted me to pay these outrageous fees just to do a forward.
Wow.
And these are people that call me sister, niece, daughter, friend. And I'm like, this is very strange. To me, that was like strange fire to me. Like, what's going on here? I thought we were supposed to be helpers one to another, And when I asked her, she didn't even think about it. She didn't even pray about it. She said, you're my girl. I love you. Whatever you need, I got you. That's exactly what she said. I sent her the first chapter of my book, and she sent me the forward within I think 7 to 10 business days. With her crazy schedule, that's like getting it within 24 hours, because her schedule is crazy. So she said, no, don't worry about it. Whatever you need, I got you. I love you. And I'll never forget that, because again, I went to, and I'm gonna say this because it's the truth, I went to, you know, African American church first.
That's right.
They put me down. They really did. They put me on a back burner, right? And so now that they see this book moving, now everybody want to be attached again. And so God he just shows you who's supposed to be in your life during certain seasons and who's not. And she was definitely a blessing. And I thank God for her. And thank you for giving me like, how I can ask. Of course I can ask him. Why can't I? Worst thing she could say is no.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And here's the thing. You also have to, this is where we segue into, you have to be careful how you treat people.
Right.
You were telling me that you met her on Scope, right?
Yes.
On Periscope.
Yes.
And you would just go to our Scope.
Yes.
We have to be very, very careful how we treat people, because you just never know who is watching.
Yes.
Right? You met her on Periscope, y'all.
Yes.
You met her on Periscope. And then they developed a relationship.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I went in one of her scopes and she saw my name and she said Markita Collins, because at the time I had a different handle. It wasn't Markita D, it was Markita_Collins. She said my name and she said, I've been watching you. You are amazing. I had no idea this woman was watching me. I had no idea. And then she came into my scope one time and she invited all of her followers and said, follow this woman. And this is when I had my very first Periscope and it got deactivated because it was hacked. But I mean, she was one of the first major influencers, because you got to understand, Real Talk Kim is huge on Instagram and Facebook. It's all over. And so she said, there's something about you and I love you and I love what you're doing. And when somebody like that says that they love you, all of their followers go, well, who is this individual? Because you don't just shout people out just to shout them out. You know, that's why I had to be careful who I shared into my scopes. And Dr. Princess is a witness. Like when I met her through social media, I'm like, she's the real deal. Follow her. And so the people that I have their attention. They trust the people that I share. That's why I had to stop just sharing any and everybody, telling people, yeah, I'll share your scope. No, I won't. I got to discern your spirit and we got to see some fruit here, because, you know, some people, they have, you know, wrong motive.
That's right.
They have wrong motive. And I get misjudged all the time. Princess Fumi has really stood up for me in front of my face, behind my back. And I thank God for that, because you just never know who is watching you, who is watching you to see you fail, who is watching you to see you come up, who is watching you and really pushing you. And I know for a fact that people have come to this woman and said some god-awful things about me, but because she has the Holy Ghost for real, she's able to discern that I'm not none of those things that the people say about me, because there is a devil that doesn't want us to succeed. And there are people that work for the enemy's camp, and they're called workers of iniquity, that would really want to see you fail. And it takes an anointed person to say, no, I'm going to go by what the Lord tells me. I'm going to do what God told me to do. And that's exactly what she did. And so for that, you know, Princess Fumi has a soldier with her, you know, for life. Like I will hold her down, and I will, whatever she needs me to do, I'm going to do it, because she stood up for me when a lot of people wouldn't. Seriously. She wasn't a part-time secret lover in my inbox. She would have fought for me in public. You understand what I'm saying? You know how you get those people that only love you in the inbox, but they don't speak up for you in public. Princess Fumi took this black girl, this radical, loudmouth girl, and said, I love everything about Markita. And this is where we are.
Well, thank you so much. Sandra, Pastor Sandra says, kudos. Your process is not abstract, but tried and true.
That woman of God right there was anointed last week when we were a part of your amazing, you know, celebration. I thought I was going to just throw my laptop on the ground. Pastor Sandra, she can pray for me any day.
Oh my God! Thank you so much, Markita. Is there one last word that you want to have for them, so that they can, you know, just one last thing that you want to share with them?
What I want to share with anybody that's connected to Princess, if you're connected to her, that means you are her voice is a magnet for you, and don't take it for granted. Don't take who she is for granted. Don't take what she does for granted, and be honest about your walk, whether it's your Christian walk, your entrepreneurship, finance, your vision, whatever your vision is, and be open. Like, I'm constantly learning how to relearn people and trust people with me being vulnerable, and I don't have to put on a front. I don't have to put on a front for Princess, and that is so relieving, because in this type of ministry and industry, you just don't know who to trust nowadays. And I think that with Dr. Princess Fumi, she really is the real deal. She didn't pay me for this. She didn't ask me to say these things. I'm saying it because it's the truth. She really is 100% authentic, and she wants to see the spiritual child in you be developed. So I just want to say kudos to you. For those of you that are working with her, for those of you that are in Sister Tribe, for those of you that want to write books and you're like, I don't know if I should go with this person, I don't know if I should go with that person. The proof is in the pudding, honey. I mean, do I got to show you this again? Look at the before and the after. My husband did my cover, this cover. I mean, I'm bold and courageous and confident in here. She was like, bam, we need something that's gonna go bam, bam, bam. And she challenged me. And so I thank God that she did. And because of that, instead of the process taking a year, it usually takes some people a year to get to where I got. It took about 4.5 months, because I trusted her voice, and a stranger I did not follow. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
My love to your husband, your family. Sorry again for the loss of your aunt. Really
Thank
sorry
you.
about that.
Yes.
And you take care of yourself, and
back to work.
You got it.
Back to work.
When I
Thank you, Miss Sandra. My husband did this.
Yeah, well, okay. Now, everybody, if you have not gotten this book, please go on Amazon and get it.
Yes.
And look at this. Even when you open the cover, you will see the information of her husband in there. Yeah, he loves. That's right. Didn't he do a great job?
He did an amazing
job. Look at that cover. It's just incredible.
I'm Still Old Fashioned is the name of the book. I'm Still Old Fashioned. Forward by Real Talk Kim.
That's right. And even Amazon picked it up as the best, what they call it again?
They called it the hot new release, number one hot new release.
Yeah, number one hot new release. Amazon picked it up. And usually when they do something like that, then they send it to their database. Usually, because I've gotten a lot of that with mine. So they send it. And what I want to share with you now is not something that it may be. Just like I told her. I said to her, Markita, what do you want? I want to be a bestseller. I said, you are a bestseller.
Yes, she did. She said, I am.
You are a bestseller. Likewise, the program I'm about to share with you now, I know it's a bestseller. Now, people will ask me, why do I know? It's because I know.
Yes. Yes.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't think it's going to be, trust me, you will not be my client.
Right.
You will be my client. And that's the truth. So thank you so much, Markita, for coming. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this. Now I have this recorded very well, I think.
I want a copy.
I know. Yes, I should give you a copy. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you so much.
Creating book covers is a challenge. I want to make sure. Can you give them
my husband's information? For sure. Again, my husband, his name is Ali Sean Collins. We call him Sean. And God has just anointed him. He's a creative. His passion and purpose is to make your dream come alive through graphic design. Right. And his email is design@U imaginemedia.com. Again, it is design@U imaginemedia.com. And even if your book is not even done yet, even if you just have the name of the title, by faith, just have them create a mock cover for you. It can always be changed. That's just get something in front of your view and type the info in the chat, sure. And let him minister to you in that way when it comes to your book cover, because your book cover is what grabs the people. And we learned that as well. Colors mean a lot. All of that matters. You imagine. All of that matters. And my husband is very good at letting people know this is going to work. This is not going to work. Trust me. Trust the process. And I didn't know when he said, okay, blue and yellow. To me, I'm like, ew. But he was absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. I mean, it really grabbed the people. He took the picture of me. I did my hair and my makeup. He did the photograph. He did the font. He picked out the colors, and it really just stands out. This is very, it's like a classic look. My husband didn't do this. Another graphic designer did this. But this is a classic, more of a vintage kind of look, but it blends in with other books. This book stands completely out.
That's right.
This stands completely out. When you walk past this book, you're gonna go, whoa, what is that? Because of the neon colors and all that. So if you need a book cover done, and if Princess Fumi, doesn't mind, and you want to work with my husband, absolutely email him at designthelletteruimaginemedia.com and tell him I sent you. You might get something. You might get something off if you.
Oh God.
Tell him I sent you.
Because as the wife, you already paid the price.
That's right. He told me I owed him a lot of money for this book cover. I said, I gave you 4 children. That's enough.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, thank you so much, Markita, for coming.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much.